Hello, and we are back again with another video of my team career mode. And we are in the Spanish Grand Prix. So let me just fill in the timeline. So right now the timeline is just of 2 days. With that in mind, I have to fill in something which is very useful. So marketing strategy conference was giving me a overall team boost. So that is something good. And with that, we have some cash in our hand. So let's see what we can do with it. And in the corporates, I'll be just looking into the data of Manuel Correa, that he has grown to 1.5 million in his market value. So that is something good, and we are using him. And with that, I'll be going to do the power mapping upgrade. That will reduce the engine wear by 10%. So then we won't be able to utilize something in our facilities. But yes, I was just going through the driver market because I was thinking that by the end of this season, which are the drivers which we can be utilizing. So Ocon was one of the person which I was interested in, and Pierre Gasly was having the same value and the same rating as him, and the Williams driver, that is George Russell, as well. And in the end, if I will be having some extra cash, then I'll be going for with Lando Norris. So these will be my picks. And if I talk about the upgrades, so we are having some resource points, but I was thinking that we should be investing in the power department, because last time we knew that how much we suffered from the straight line speed. Keeping that in mind, so I thought of doing the slender head major upgrade, but for that I have to wait for the end of the practice session 3 so that I can gain some extra points, resource points, and I'll be getting ready by before the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And if I talk about the overall stats, has did went above us because they had upgrade. They took out one upgrade. And let me just advance the time so that I can just jump into the practice session. And yes, we are here in the Spanish Grand Prix, with Friday being the FP1 and FP2. I mean, this is one of the circuit where all the teams prepare for their pre-season. And here we are on our outlap of FP1, and that is track acclimatization. Yes, that we are doing right now. And yes, I'll be just want to let you know that in the practice
Seems
one,
like we're a bit
practice
slow in these corners. Turn 4, turn 7, turn 10, turn 12.
yes, with that practice 1 and practice 2 were over, and I am in the practice 3. Just want to let you know that in the practice 3, I played this game after 2 days after the update came out, and the car felt a lot heavier. I was complaining in the practice 1 and practice 2. It was really good.
Let's have your take on it. You really went all out in practice today. Are you testing new components?
Yes, we had a aero upgrade, so we were testing that.
How do you feel this season is going for you? Is the car competitive?
Yes, the car is good, and with that, if I have to keep things in mind, so I have to go for the power unit, because that department needs some improvement. With that, end of our practice sessions, and we are looking good. We got some good resource points, and we will be using them as well, so that is great. And just reading a message from Jeff, so he said that try not to use the escape road. Great, Jeff. And we are finally in the qualifying one, and I don't think so, just to be true, I don't think, and the car is looking a bit dirty. So I don't think we can do anything in the qualifying, because as the situation after the update came out, the car was feeling heavy and not up to the power which I was expecting. So here I am on my outlap. So I had done around 2 laps. So this was my third lap, but I was already dropping a lot of points. I mean, if you can see my delta time, and I was not improving at all. So, and the session time was also not so much left, I guess. And yes, as you can see, only less than 5 minutes
Understood.
were
Stopping
remaining.
this lap.
So it was a better of me to just go into the garage and just prepare for the next lap. Just check what was wrong, use some new fresh tires. Come on, hurry up guys, we are on our time. And here is Marduk Motorsports on the right hand side. I don't know where is Archer Racing, I don't know where he is. So here we are, they are just pushing it. Come on, cover the car, come on, cover the tires. They are very slow. Come on, the guy on the right hand side is seriously slow. So with that, 3 minutes are remaining and I was going on the fresh softs. Here I am on my out lap, that will be lap number 3, with only 1 minute remaining in the qualifying session. I am right now on P21 ahead of Latifi. So here I did try to gain some time, did try to give my best out of the lap. And in the first chicane I did gain a bit of time, but after that I started losing the time on the straights, because I don't know, I don't remember which wings I was running, but that was more of a dance force which I was running at this circuit. That was some changes I did prior to the qualifying, so I was just testing that out as well. But overall I was looking on pace, I am improving actually. If you can see on the sector 1 timing was not up to the mark, but if I cover sector 2 I did gain 3/10 of a second, so that is something. And ahead of me is George Russell, who is also on his final lap. So we both, it will be deciding that where we both are placed. So we are one of the weakest team on the grid. And with that, on the final corner and into the straight, I was hoping that I could improve, because I had improved like 1 second. So in the end the result was P20. I could only improve like a single place. And as you can see, Max was stepping with 116, so he was too quick. And here is Manuel Correa is even surpassed us in the qualifying.
Good day today. Let's have
No,
your
it
take.
wasn't. How can you say that?
What was your teammate's secret to success today?
I'll say the aero package, the aero upgrade helped them a lot.
How
So
will not making Q3 affect your strategy tomorrow?
I mean, we are not the fastest car on the track, but instead we will be aiming for some points.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Thank you so much. And with that, we have some rivalry breakdown, and we have gained a lot of points ahead of Latifi. And I guess now Korea will be boosting his acclaim. So that is good. And with that, I was thinking also in the aerodynamics we have some major upgrade as well. So I could be going for the major upgrade next time, next race weekend. But this time I'll be going with the cylinder head major upgrade that I'll be getting ready after the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So by Canada we will be looking good on our power. So finally that is it. And with that, we were being out qualified by our teammate, and let's just jump into the race weekend.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya then, a high-speed 2.89-mile circuit which demands an efficient downforce package and bravery on the part of the driver, especially through the blind right of turn 9, which we might just see taken flat this weekend. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Charles Leclerc and Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Ocon and Lance Stroll, Norris, Kvyat, Pierre Gasly and Raikkonen, Magnussen, Perez, Antonio Giovinazzi and Juan Manuel Correa, Rowan, Russell, Grosjean, they've taken a grid penalty, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Was expecting a message from Jeff, but again he is lost somewhere. So we will be going with a one-stop strategy. That is the best thing I could do, because I was already starting on the mediums, just offloading some of the fuel, and here I am just charging up my tires, and yes, into the final grid. And here are the 5 red lights, and with the rich fuel mix, and away we go. We have a decent start, but Giovinazzi didn't have a good start, so we had to stop a bit, and Russell did pass us, and with Correa going side by side with Russell as well, and braking on the first corner I am, and going side by side with Correa. So here I am trying to get somewhat ahead of Correa, but he is looking good on the pace, because we all the back markers, we are having the same set of tire, and here I am again side by side with Correa, and yes, I have passed him, and that was a good move from our side. So with next target being George Russell, but Correa is not giving up on his position. He is trying to take back his position, and yes, he did. We have to push, we have to move out of his way just to give him the space, and yes, he is ahead of us. And with that, Grosjean and Latifi are also looking good on the pace, so I have to defend from them as well. And there is Grosjean driving down the inside, but I had to, and there I am slipping. Okay, I have to be careful on these corners, because these are a bit slippery. And here I am in the end of the lap 1 behind Correa. Haven't gained any single position, but have lost out to Correa, and on to the final corner, and behind me is Grosjean, who will be surely making a move on me, and I don't think so that I will be having any counter for that. So yes, eventually he did pass me, and there was nothing I could do for that. With Latifi behind me,
You can win that place back.
I am trying, but there's nothing I could do. So still trying to gain some positions, and with giving my level best, and as you can see, I was improving on the sector. And again, I am this part of the circuit is tricky, because the curbs, even if you touch the curb, it will end up on flipping you out. So I have to be very careful, I have to be very gentle on my accelerator. So that is one of the things which I got to know from this circuit. And with that,
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
But I don't think that I will be in the 1 second zone, because all the cars in the front, they are just gaining ahead of me, and behind me is Latifi, and I hope that the Williams won't be doing any good or won't be overtaking me. So that is, I have to be careful, and I guess Latifi is making a move on us, and yes, indeed he did made a move on us on his Williams, and he did pass us on the chicane. Somewhat not good for a car who was not so weakest in the practice 1 and practice 2. And here we are behind the Williams, the worst car on the grid. Come on, I was not expecting this at least. And here I am behind the hot air coming out of Latifi's car, and as you can see, Correa is like 4 seconds ahead of me, Russell 4.5 seconds. And I don't know what was wrong on this circuit as well, because last time on the Zandvoort circuit I just researched that yes, Codemasters has made some good changes, that the dirty air will impact the race pace a lot. So I guess here also in the Spanish circuit also we are struggling due to the same thing. And here I am on the lap 6 again, behind Latifi, couldn't improve. And as you can see on the chart sheet, I am struggling, and with all the front runners, they are going for their pit stop who had started on the soft. So I can see Sainz and Ricciardo coming out of the pits, and Sainz is not on the racing pace, and we did manage to overtake him easily. That was not difficult. But as we know, the Renault's engine are doing really good, so I don't know how much I can hold him.
Nice work, that brings you up a place.
One more thing which Codemasters needs to improve. So yeah, they are just coming out of the pit, so they will be behind me only. And here I am defending my positions from Carlos Sainz, and I guess try the next DRS zone he will be surely making a move on me, because on the corners I can defend, but on the straight line there is no speed, there is no power out of the engine. So here is Sainz just behind me, who will be diving down the outside. And yes, indeed, no, we tried to shut the door, and yes, we did manage to stay ahead of him for the next DRS zone as well. So here I am again slipping, man. I have to be careful. This is one of the trickiest part of the circuit, because here the incline part which takes a toll on my car. So behind me is Sainz and Ricciardo, and Sainz is on the right hand side of me, and yes, he will surely be making a move on me, as you can see right now. Here is Ricciardo also trying to make a move on Carlos Sainz as well. Sainz going side by side with us, and he did manage to pass us, and Ricciardo is also trying to just dive down the inside, but instead we try to defend him off using the width of the circuit. But I guess no, there is a catch. Ricciardo has passed us,
We need to stay on form.
and behind me is Esteban Ocon, who is 2 seconds off of me as of now, and with Lance Stroll as well. So I have to be careful, because I'm on lap 8. The other guys, the guys in front of me, are on the fresh mediums, and just behind me is Esteban Ocon and the racing point of Lance Stroll, who will be surely looking to make a move on me on this next DRS zone. And here is Esteban Ocon, whom we could not defend with this pace, so he will be surely moving ahead on the chicane as well. And behind us is Lance Stroll, who is just 100th of a second behind me, so he will surely be getting past ahead of us. And yes, he is trying to make a move on me, and I have to manage to try to defend from him as much as I can. And on to the corners, I don't know if, and here is Lance Stroll making a move on me. So this is something which I could not do here on, because this track is, I guess this track was not suited to us. China was one of the track till now which was the best, and we got the maximum performance out of our car. So but yeah, if I talk about Korea is doing good. He was like a P14 or P15 right now.
Front is a second a lap faster. 1 second.
Yes, they are, and just trying on the lap 12.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.4 seconds.
So just in a space of 1 lap, they are just ahead of me by 6 seconds. So that shows how much we are lacking on the power department. But still, no hope lost, and we are back, and we are closing the distance on Latifi by a second in a lap. So that is something which I was proud of till now, because
Box. We're coming
and
in this
yes,
lap.
we are having the pit window open as well, so trying to push as much as I can. With that, I had managed to close the gap on Latifi, but
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
he looked faster on the straight. So in straight into the pits I'll be coming on the lap 14, and went a bit wide, trying to maximize the speed going into the pit lane. And yes, I will be expecting something good from the team, and indeed, yes, they did. They managed to do a 2.1 second pit stop.
Complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
I'm sure that they are the best mechanics on the grid. They always try to impress me, and yes, they do succeed just trying to use some limit of the track. Went a bit on the grass, and here I am on the last.
Juan Manuel is coming in for his stop.
Korea made his pit stop up a lap later, and with that I can see many more cars who were coming out of the pit. And here is Nicholas Latifi, whom I can see coming out of the pit, and I'll
Latifi
try
is
to
in the
just
pits.
fight for his position, but no, he is 3 seconds off of me, so there's nothing I could do. I have to remain again behind him. So but I tried to manage to close the gap between Latifi and me, but as you can see in the front, Grosjean, Korea, Russell,
Caution,
all of them.
caution.
And
Full
there
course
is
caution. The safety
there-
car is out.
there is a
Keep an eye on
safety
the
car.
delta.
There is a safety car, and there is one of the hairs of Grosjean. Romain Grosjean has retired from the race, and which brings
Drop
out
your
a
speed, our
safety
delta
car.
is too low and we risk a
And this
penalty. Slow
this
your
safety
pace
car
immediately.
will surely make so many changes in the race, because all the people who were in front, they are going for a free pit stop. As you can see, all are lining up for it, and here is Esteban Ocon, who lost a lot of time due to the pit stop because they were double stacking, and he lost a lot of time due to that. And yes, I am trying to catch the front runners, not front runner, I'm trying to catch the safety car. And while going on this straight, on the right hand side, there
The
was
safety
safety
car is
car.
waiting for the leader.
It
You
was
may
just standing there. That was somewhat dangerous driving from the safety car. And as you can see, the front runners, they are just too much ahead of me. I was trying to save the tires, but had to sacrifice them in order to catch the front runners. So finally, after catching the front runners, I am waiting for the race restart. Here is Lewis Hamilton in the front.
Safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
And I will be surely will be making a move on Latifi in the first lap itself. That is what I thought at this time, and with that I am using the rich fuel which I have saved from the safety car period, and with that I am on the, and there is no speed. There is no speed. The highest I could go is 318 with the rich fuel mix, with the overtake button, and this is what I could do. 318 is the top speed I could do this time. And here is Latifi in front of me. I will be and he's going side by side with me. And yes, I did dive down the inside, try to use the space on the track, and yes, I did made a move on him. So that is a good move on Latifi's, and it helped me boost somewhat my confidence, because after being last on the grid for quite a while, like 20 laps, so I felt good that at least I am ahead of Latifi on P20 on the lap 20 as well. So here is Esteban Ocon, Korea, and that is Russell in the Williams. I am trying to make a move on at least Ocon, who was not looking good in his Renault. I don't know what was the issue. And with that, trying to set the personal best, and yes, indeed I did that, and I had put a best time of 1 minute 22 seconds, although off from the top guys, but yes, still managing quite a bit to do the best. And here I am again on lap 21 behind Esteban Ocon, Korea, and we four cars are just at par with each other. We are trying to overtake each other, but no one was able to make the move on any of us. So still looking good, decent on the pace, and I thought that in next 2 to 3 laps I will be able to at least overtake one of the car who was in front, but that was not the scenario. Lap 22 it is, and at the end of lap 23 still looking decent on the pace, but the one thing which was lacking is that I am not able to overtake on these straights. And although I was gaining time on the corners, but I don't think that in Spain I could overtake any person on the corners. And here I am,
Manage your tires.
lap 24, lap 25, lap 26. I will be showing you
You're increasing
everything.
the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap.
Yes, I was, but it was of no use, because the cars in the front, I was doing my best, But lap 25 again I was behind Ocon. The situation was same. It was like nothing has improved. Lap 25 this time. That is somewhat like a repeat of itself. So did a personal best and went into the 121, but nothing. Lap 28, that was like around approximately 9 laps. I was behind Esteban Ocon. I was behind Korea. We four were like very good at that.
Tires need to go the distance.
But my tire wear was giving me some signs that I was not doing good. And here they three are just like, the AI is too I don't know what the AI is thinking of, but at least Renault or the Ocon on the Renault engine should have some pace. Although I knew that Korea was not having that good pace, the Williams as we know, but Ocon should have got some good pace indeed. And here we are just in the chicane after using the DRS, but none of the 3 cars which were behind of George Russell, he was doing good. I have to say that George Russell was seriously doing a lot good. And here are the front runners in the form of Valtteri Bottas, and not Valtteri Bottas obviously, but it was Lewis Hamilton, and behind him was Max Verstappen. Still on the lap 32 we are again, the situation is same. I don't know when any one of us will be making a move. I was just trying to do the best. I was trying not to make any mistake, and with that I guess this will be the final lap of the race. And if that is the situation, then I have to give it to George Russell. He has done a really good job just to secure his position.
This is your final lap of the race.
And with that, Korea is trying to make a finally move on George Russell, but he did fail on making a move on it. But instead of that, Ocon has made a move on Korea. He lost a bit of time trying to overtake him on the straight, but instead of that he has lost a place. So that is a move made by Ocon finally. So in out of our 4, someone has finally overtaken somebody, but now again it is Joe, and this is Lewis Hamilton setting the fast lap, and he has won the race. And here is Lewis Hamilton ahead of Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen, and I am still behind Korea, trying to do the best or trying to at least overtake my teammate. But as you can see on the straight line, I was not having a single any pace, I'll say. And ahead of me is Esteban Ocon, who finally did made a move on George Russell. So that is like 2 overtakes in a single in the last lap of the race by Esteban Ocon in his Renault. So that shows how good Renault engine was, because the dirty air played a major role, and which was not helping anybody, and which helped Ocon in the end. And here is the race.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car
Was expecting something good, but ended up on
So, Anthony,
P20.
what made the difference out there today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors. You answer all of those questions correctly, you'll
And
have a good
here is
chance.
Lando Norris,
And that's
P7.
exactly what happened today.
A great race from the
Be plenty
British.
of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Lewis Hamilton extending his lead in the front of the table, and Mercedes as well.
That's an end to another fantastic
So
weekend
not,
of racing.
I
Thanks to
mean,
everyone who
a
joined
bad
us,
race,
and
but
we'll
if I
see you
talk
for the
about
next one.
the timesheets, it was not so much bad, I'll say. We did better, at least a best lap than our teammate, and doing a very good job in the rivalry. I guess I'll hardly take 2 races just to go ahead of him, and our acclaim is getting boosted finally to level 5, and overall team acclaim has also improved to level 7 as well. And it got some cash also from the sponsors, but in the end it was not a good weekend. But next race will be in the Monaco, and I'll be waiting for it. I am not so good at that circuit, but yeah, if you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you.